Whew. So it's time to call off the search. But firstly, I'd like to apologise for the jacket. You see, it's snowing and very cold in Scotland today, and my wife is a kind of environmentalist, in the sense that she says, you know, let's look after the planet, let's not put on the heating, and we will help the future generations to live in this beautiful planet if we take care of it. But you know what? I think it's more financial. When I'm on my own, I have to keep the heating down, you see. The house is too big for me on my own. I think it's down to the cost. But anyway, you know what? You get up in the morning and there's a sense of coldness as you throw the duvet back in you, and everything is just like, wow. I can feel my body, it's cold. I'm so grateful, I'm so appreciative of just the simple things that I have in my life, my clothes. And it's a wonderful situation. And then you go outside into the cold, and it's warmer outside than it is in the house, and it's a strange magical, mystical world that we live in, where our assumptions are really nailed to the ground when we think we know what is taking place, what is happening, what is going on, what may happen, what what may not happen. So this video is I've kind of looked back into the archives of how I've been speaking in a language that is not really pertinent to me, because I'm Scottish, and I'm trying to put on a very diplomatic, slow speech so that you understand, so that I don't have to load subtitles and stuff like that, But if I was to speak in my normal tongue, you wouldn't have what I was saying, you see. Maybe you would. Maybe I underestimate your intelligence. Anyway, I looked back in the archives also and found that it's 7 years to the day that I made my first video in this spot. And I was so young and out of it. I remember this. The journey has been really blissful, really joyful, really kind, and really compassionate, physically as well as psychologically. The mind is trying to surface in the head again and balance itself out, and the ego needs its rightful place and all that stuff, you see. But it's time now to call off the search, in the sense that this me that has been obviously taken over by some sort of beautiful, spiritual, wondrous speaker, that master. You see, you think that the one that speaks is the master. The master lies within us all, That master lies within us all. And it's just a case of, when needed, the master will make an appearance. Because you are so well protected. Not in the physical, accidental world of car crashes and natural disasters and stuff like that. There's nothing the master can do to save the physical body in that experience, in that situation. But the master will help you understand who you are, what you are, where you are. He will help you very sexist, Who knows what the master is, Who knows what that spirit is? Just because Jesus Christ is associated as a man is not the entire Holy Spirit, you see. He is a servant of the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is consciousness, is life, is existence. But I don't want to spend another video going down that route. I can summarize by saying everything is flat. Everything is flat. The universe is flat. The galaxies are flat. The planets are flat. Everything is flat. But it's not about the flat earth and the scientific way. Flat meaning everything is a screen, a two-dimensional screen. Actually, it's a zero-dimensional screen. Everything is a microfiche. What the best way to describe what life is when you used to make that old movies, or you're developing a film of photographs. You have the negatives. That's all this is, a negative. One complete flat negative. And when the light of consciousness enshrouds it, this negative is infinite. It has no boundaries, it is just here. And the light of consciousness comes over it and enshrouds it and gives it life, what we call three-dimensionality. So we're all an animation strip. The possibility is everything has been done, everything has been organised, everything has been directed, written, and whether there's an end, that's only the one that made the microfiche up, made this animation up. But consciousness is just revealing it as it goes. It's just revealing it as a big movie, a big story, a big fantasy, a big imagination, a big illusion, a big thought of what could be possible before God actually makes it possible, you see. So this is the the preview show before the real show comes. So that's all I can say about that. This microfiche is a mirror, and consciousness within its beautiful, moving, emotional, sensory holdings, capabilities, it makes it all move and come alive, and reflects and deflects and shows wondrous things that we call planets and earth and nature and bodies and everything, stars, to come alive. So consciousness gives life, and consciousness takes life away, but you just fall back into your animation, whatever you are. Anyway, that's it in a nutshell. I made a video just recently called Whole. It's basically a dual version of what it's like in the spirit and soul side when something but you are actually moves out of this domain, this form, and travels into this wondrous light, empty, spiritual, loving essence of nothingness, emptiness. And the other half is as a human, is what you see as a person, as a father, as a figurehead, as a mind, as an ego state. And it kind of summarizes it up. It's a long video. It's not really important if you watch it or not, but it gives a sense of a dualistic becoming one and then becoming two again, you see. But anyway, my time, I think, is up for searching and speaking about that, whatever wanted to speak, spoke. Because the person doesn't make up this. The person is the inability. The mind of the person is unable to put together this colossal, but minute, life, all-encompassing life. So we're all here individually to make something out of our own life. So that video Whole is about the whole of this one's life, you know. But it's only the whole of this body life, you know. You'll find that in your own experiences that you may experience past lives, which you don't dwell on. You just, that happened? Okay, that happened. Yeah. And you realize that you are here to overcome death, to become immortal. Now that doesn't mean to say you're special on this earth. That means that whenever this body goes, something may change. You may not come back onto this earth. You may move somewhere else in whatever this plan is, this microfiche, this movie, whatever you are on this movie. You cannot be in a particular section of the movie, of the microfiche. You're all over, you see. There's only one movie, and we're all the same actors returning in each different roles and whatever. So the message is basically that whatever state you appear to be in, whatever state your mind says you're in, your mind says today you're poor. In comparison with all these people, you're poor. You love your poverty. Love it. Be proud of it. Be proud of whatever you are at that moment. Be proud of your anger. As long as you're not harming someone else, as long as you're not trying to encroach on other people's lives with your anger and your poverty and your story, you're not trying to bring them down to the level that you're in. Anger is fine. Everything is beautiful. Everything. Be proud that you have only one room in your house, and the Queen has hundreds of rooms. It matters not. The Queen can only be in one room at once. You can only be in one room at once. Make that room your room, that beautiful place with no boundaries. There's no walls, you see. When you realize that awakening and enlightenment is a wonderful, wonderful, beautiful, profound, deep, tranquil experience. But when it finishes, everything is the same. Everything is the same as it was before. But there's no mind that's measuring and making preferences and making comparisons. You just live in the moment of what is taking place. So the moment I got up this morning and threw the duvet back, my God, I turned to ice because it's cold in Scotland. It's snowing today. But I loved it. I said, wow, I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky to be cold. I'm so lucky to know the difference between being warm under my duvet and cold. Now I must protect the body and put my clothes on and get warm. And I put on an extra jacket because it's so cold. My fingers are actually tingling. My nose is red, and it's not with alcohol. So it's not about a teacher teaching you how to be enlightened, a teacher teaching you how to paint, a teacher teaching you how to do things. You're capable of doing anything that you want to in this world, in your own terms, in your own mind. You are capable of doing anything that you want to yourself, with yourself, in this nature, in this world, on your own. More than capable to do anything. So when you sing in the bath, be proud of that singing. Be proud of just breathing. Be proud to be alive. Be proud of your illness. I know it's difficult. This one has been ill, and it's very easy to say, but when it happens, it's very, very, takes a lot of discipline and energy to actually focus on something good about the illness, because the illness is temporary. The body is temporary. Everything is temporary. So don't make it, I want that part of my temporary life and I don't want that part. I want every part of my temporary life. I want every part of my temporary body to experience something. I'm so proud. I'm so proud to be able to speak. I'm so proud to listen to the media, even though the media are so negative. I'm so proud that I'm there. I am able. I can read. I can write. I can make comparisons. Not very often, because it just brings you down to that base level again, that flat level. The world is against me. No, the world is here for you. The world is here for you in every form, in every aspect, in every single day. I don't like my job right now, but I'm proud. I'm proud I can get in my car and go to my work and listen to the radio and sing in the car and chant mantras, and then when I'm in my work, I think it's wonderful that I'm able to do so many things for so many people, and they are also able to respect what they're doing for me. And it's like, yes, there is an ability to make comparisons of likes and not likes, but when you start being grateful for the pride that you have in the world and yourself and what humans do and animals do and nature does, and how it just appears every spring and then disappears every winter. It's a colossal, colossal mystery. And you don't have to know about the planets, about the perfect nutritional diet. You just have to experience everything in its full-blown experience. No one can do it every moment of every day. Even Christ couldn't maintain this presence, this here-ness, this now-ness. There is only here and now. I mean, you don't have to be enlightened to understand that one, because 20 years ago, your wife says, remember, or your husband says, remember that day? No. You don't remember that day? No. But that was one of the best days of our life. I don't remember it. Because you're not there. And that day you remember it, like you're remembering this right now. But the moment it goes, you're not there. It's not about past and future. It is about present living. It is about living in the presence. It is about now. It is about all these great speakers. It is about those that say, come back to the present moment. Because this present moment is when consciousness is taken back to directly point at you in its pure state. Consciousness is just milling around. Yeah. But parts of consciousness have like tentacles, like the octopus, and it's saying, oh, who wants me? Who wants me today? Who wants me? And you say, I'm in the present moment. Ah, how beautiful life is when I'm in the moment, when I'm present. And you've just an hour ago had a migraine that was so intense that you thought you were going to die, and suddenly it's gone. There is no human being that is special. In enlightenment, you find out when you meet this one that everything is absolutely miraculously saintly. Everything is saintly. This jacket is saintly. That laptop is saintly. The missing teeth is saintly. Everything is saintly. Everything is great. Everything is good. You get minds that say, no, we have to make analysis on that. We have to make decisions on that. No. That man killed another man. We're not speaking about harm to other beings. We're speaking about you personally, ego, man, woman, whatever you are. Well, before your mind comes in, what are you? Before your mind comes in to watch what is taking place in the future and even in the present on the media or on the television, what is taking place with you right now? You're alive. You're lucky to be alive. You're great. You have the most profound experience to be here with a mind that is able to walk and sing and dance and paint and make music and just, go to the beach, and when you do a drawing on the beach with a stick, be proud of it, because you know what? One of the things I'm going to leave you with is something that is very, very important for most human beings to know. Even in your solitude, you're not alone. Someone is watching you. Something is watching you. Something is always watching you and is so happy when you are doing things for yourself, with no worries about judgment, with no worries about measuring, with no worries about someone else analysing you. When you don't care, when you lose that caring attitude, it's not that you don't care about the world, you just don't mind that you're making a fool of yourself because you're being watched. Not by one God, by billions. You're being loved. Because the ones that are watching cannot do what you're doing. They cannot do what you're doing. And they may never have the opportunity to do what you do. So paint the picture on the beach, on the sand with a stick. Not like, I have to do it good. Just do it. Just move. Just sing. Just let the wind blow in your face. Be mindful with no mind. Be mindful of what is taking place, that this is a wonderful opportunity to be alive. This is a great place. This is heavenly. This is paradisial. Don't make measurements of poverty and rich. And his car is much more beautiful than my car. They serve the same purpose. It's just an idea. It's just something that you want to be better. You want to be superior than another one. When we compete, when we're competitive, we're going to suffer. We're really going to suffer. We're not only going to suffer the loss, we're going to suffer the win. Because we'll feel guilty that we're celebrating a win when all these other ones were just as good as me. They just weren't quick enough on the day. In our time-based world, you see. So the search for me is called off. Me. I don't recognize me anymore. I can't find me, so what's the point of looking for me anymore? Me is gone. I is gone. Only I remains. That I that is not associated with this body. That I that is this consciousness that enshrouds this body, inside and outside. But the one in the middle, that centered one, is exempt from all of this. That animation, that one in the middle, that microfiche, when consciousness moves off of it, there's nothing taking place. It is flat. It is zero. We call it dead. But it's never dead, you see. It's never dead because it's living somewhere else, isn't it? Because you're everywhere in this animation. Because the present moment has moved away from you. The consciousness with that tentacle, it says, I can't come and shine on you anymore. I have lots of things to do over here. Lots of things. So you're still there, but you're not present. Your body's gone. But it's not gone in the animation. It's still there. It's still fresh. It's still able. It's just waiting for its next opportunity. This is not about life after death. There is no death. There is no birth. There really is just this consciousness that moves and circulates and never stops moving and circulating. Always returning, always returning. That's why you have deja vu experiences. God, it's like that happened before. Well, it did happen before, you see. It did happen before because you're living so many billions of lives in one body. And this body comes and goes. And this body may not have the same jacket on the next time it comes. Because the jacket will go. Because the sun may be warm that day. And it may be summer. The story is just changing. It's just taking different forms, taking different shapes. The idea that we can make something miraculous out of something that is already immaculately spot on is an idea that will haunt you and keep you prisoner in your world of the doer. I am the doer. I have to do. I have to do more. I want this. I need this. I desire this. Because it's going to help humanity. Humanity doesn't need any help. Beingness doesn't need any help. It is as it is. You see, that's the whole thing. The conclusion is that when the search has been seen and all of this has been inquired fully to the extent of nothingness and fullness and centeredness and all this stuff, when the search has been overcome, it is seen that there is no end. There's just life going on and on within itself, living itself through itself. And you, with a mind, have a great privilege. You've humbled, you're honoured to be here. And the idea that you value it, devalue it, is stopping you from being in that present moment, because comparisons cannot be made in the present moment. Comparisons can only be made with a measurement between past and future, or future and future, or past and past. So you're wasting a lot of your life by trying to undo. We think we're doing great, but we're undoing what consciousness does naturally, instinctively, with no effort. We make effort to ruin that what is incredibly, incredibly beautiful. And when your search is over, you will be incredibly proud of your recognition that everything is incredibly beautiful. Even that what you may used to think was incredibly ugly is now incredibly beautiful. Because there's no analysis, there's no differences, there's no division between life. Life is life, you see? So you've overcome the idea of using words like God and Brahman and Absolute and Source and Vishnu, and you're no longer concerned about who am I and I am and seeing through words and identities, because it's done. It's done. It's done. It was just a journey. It's just a path. It's just a way to get a step closer to that consciousness that really, really makes your life worthwhile. And when it goes, you'll step right into that pure consciousness. And it will take you along in its journey. It'll take you along on its journey, and you will see yourself in every animation, every period, every chapter, every century, every day, every moment. But not with a measuring mind, an idea of a mind that says, oh yes, I remember that. Oh, I also remember that. No, it's new. Everything is new. Every moment is new. Every moment is absolutely, profoundly, immaculately unfolding itself as a new moment. Be proud of your poverty. Be proud of your inability to stop smoking. Be proud of your drug habit. Be proud of all the things. I'm not encouraging you to take drugs, but be proud that you recognize that you are taking these and that you are able to stop whenever you want. Be proud that you can make decisions and choices and choose whether you want a vaccine or don't want a vaccine, or you're able to jump in or forge your way into this virus situation with a brave face and say, yeah, what? If it gets me, it gets me. If it doesn't get me, it doesn't get me. I'm looking after myself as much as I can. I'm looking after myself as much as I can. And if everyone looks after themselves as much as they can, the whole world is looked after. We don't have to worry about looking after Tom and Jim and Bob and whatever, and always telling them. But this is the perfect world, you see. And the research also reveals that to be a realist, you have to accept that we will be killed off in certain illnesses and viruses. Not the whole human race. That's up to nature. That's up to consciousness, and that what we don't know, you see. There is no way we can create world peace. We can only create peace in our own living, surrounding world. We can only create peace in our own perceptive, touching, sensing, tasting, emotional world. We can find world peace in emptiness, in that place where we all were at one point, completely one, completely at the same starting point, completely at the same level. But we have grown into this human race, and we appear to be in different levels, but we're not really in different levels. We're all Buddha. Every one of us is Buddha, with a mind that says otherwise. With a mind of billions of opportunities, of choices and methods and ways. Be proud that you can go onto the internet and say, I want to check out what Christianity is saying today. You don't have to knock on the door and wait to be interviewed or whatever. You can check everything out. You can be a shaman, a monk, a Upanishad. You can be a Zen, Hindu, a Muslim, a Catholic. You can be all of these in your own domain. You don't need someone to say, "Oh, you can't be that because you can't look at Christianity and Catholicism. You're a Hindu. You must look at you." Well, that's a bit. But again, if that's what your religion is, that's what your religion is. It's acceptable. Everything is acceptable. I'm now getting warm. So this is it. This is the place it started 7 years ago. This actual place, this actual room, where everything fell apart to the extent that nothing remained, not even me. And now it's all built back up again. It's all rekindled and restored, and I'm alive. And I'm grateful to be alive, and I'm grateful to be here, and I'm grateful to be able to speak, and I'm grateful to be ignored. I'm grateful to be hated. I'm grateful to be unliked. I'm grateful to be commented on as whatever you want to comment on. The gratitude of being alive is far, 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 far superior to the gratitude of singular individual states of mind. When you're grateful to be alive, all these states of mind are also seen with that gratitude. You become that seer, that taster, that thinker. But you don't think the thoughts of negativity and positivity as different thoughts. You just think, I'm grateful. I'm deeply honored. I'm deeply proud of that thought that came in, even though it is suggesting that I am something other than what I used to hate, used to like, or used to hate. I don't know how I'm saying these words. You cannot make comparisons because the past is chopped, the future is chopped. There is only this moment. There is only now. And that's the best thing to know. We're not here to know anything about the world and the universe and the biological things of the humans, but they're great, because without it, this body would be in a coffin. You know, if surgery hadn't been able to investigate through humans and able to patch up things and whatever. But the best thing to know is just simply this. This one moment. It's not a time moment. It's a colossal mirror. It's just a microfiche of infinite possibilities. And it's never not here. And it's never not now. Your mind may not understand that, may not digest with that, may not agree with that, may not understand it to its fullest. But it's not about here in this chair. It's about here, being, now. Life. Always life. In all ways. One is here. One is now. It's just a present way to bring you back to your original state. That unmoving, moving state. That still, quiet, but sifting state. Where you don't move into the past, into the future. You're just aware that I'm alive. And that all this that surrounds me is part of me. Not that old me, not that I am the tree, I am that. No, that whole me is part of me. Everything is whole. And there I go again, you see, back into that teaching mode, that pointing mode. I can only point and say, whatever you are, whatever you're doing, you know, someone loves you. In fact, everyone loves you. They just are not in the right state of mind to say that. But do you love yourself? Do you love the world? Do you love what you do? Do you love every moment of every day? Do you love your sleep? Do you love your hangover? Do you love everything as if it's the same thing? Because when you do, God is one thing, you see. So everything you love is God. Everything you love becomes God. God is not everything now. We are here to make God come alive with our love. reflecting back from the mirror that we are through consciousness back to that mirror that we are. The whole microfiche is God and its infinite possibilities and its infinite wisdom. I mean, come on. You don't have to go to university or have to study and research to realize that this is an incredible work of art. This is an incredible work of art. The body, to keep the body alive with the brain and everything, is an incredible work of art. The ability to build an aeroplane and fly into the sky like the bird is an incredible work of art. We shouldn't be taking the praise, the rewards for it, because it's not us that's doing it. We are the machine where God can operate us. It's through consciousness to reveal that what has already been done. God has already made aeroplanes in this infinite possibility microfiche. Everything that we are doing now has already been done. The man, or whatever he is, I don't want to call it a man because I'll get sexist comments. God is, whatever it is, so friggin' intelligent. But we're only interested in ourselves, you see. We're only interested in the evolution of humanity. When you drop that idea, humanity will remain, it will flourish, it will always be here. But when you drop the idea that you're in control, that we can prevent things, that we can create destruction and bombs to kill each other, well, that's, I mean, God must be scratching, what the hell are they doing, you know? One thing. You don't have to go to university to think like this. You're all intelligent creatures, able to see that when the plant grows in your windowsill from a seed, you see the plant at the end of the day. But deep down inside, we're watching the plant grow, and we're saying, how the hell does that happen? Who the hell is doing this? Who the hell makes me breathe? Makes my heart pump? Makes my kidneys operate so that my body is cleansed every day? Who made this up, you know? And humans want to make robots, but it's God has already made the robots just to see what he's capable of. God doesn't make infinite possibilities a possibility to become all real. Oh no. On this microfiche there are selected things, we call them celestial gems in this mirror that God has highlighted and said, I wonder who will point to these ones. I wonder who will be responsible for these ones. The rest, that's just fun and games for me, to test them, to see how honourable they are to each other, to see how genuine they are to each other. Oh, you'll see so many things if you go through this enlightenment stage. You'll see so much wisdom that contradicts itself every day. I have to go now. Someone at my door.